So, let's all get a laugh together here because this is the list. And you see the list, right? Well, I don't see. Correct me if I'm wrong. Do you see Angel Reese on this list?
Angel Reese is feeling the heat after ESPN's latest rankings knocked her down a peg. She thought she ruled the court, but the critics aren't buying it, calling her a rebound specialist at best. Now she's firing back, and the drama is unfolding fast. Stay tuned. This reaction might be an all-time classic.
So Asia Wilson 1, Caitlin Clark 2, Breonna Stewart 3, Nafisa Collier 4, and Lissa Thomas at 5.
Angel Reese missed ESPN's top 10, landing at 12th. Not 9th, not 10th, 12th. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark sits comfortably at number 2 miles ahead of the so-called elite. And to think some tried to put Reese in Clark's league? Yeah, that conversation is officially over.
Aaliyah Boston and Angel being higher than Satu, that's crazy work, fam.
Let's be honest. This is a tough look for Angel Reese. All the hype, all the talk, all the antics, and she couldn't even crack the top 10? Ouch. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark lets her game do the talking. No excuses needed. Reese is probably already on Twitter, trying to spin this one.
So, we've got ESPN's ranks of WNBA players right now. And Caitlin Clark is really damn high. One could argue she's not high enough. But I think it's pretty surprising for a lot of these folks. I will tell you this straight up. Angel Reese ain't nowhere to be found in the top 10. She's not involved. You're not here. Sorry, but not sorry. You're not to be.
And please, spare the, but she's a double-double machine argument. ESPN used to downplay Caitlin Clark, acting like she wasn't that player. But now, they had no choice but to give her the respect she deserves. The stats don't lie. The skill doesn't lie. And finally, the rankings don't lie. Meanwhile, Angel Reese fans have to scroll way down to find her at 12th. 12th. That's like pulling up to a party thinking you're VIP, only to get stuck outside while Caitlin Clark is already inside, owning the place. The Clark haters tried everything to push the false narrative that Reese was on her level. But now, pure silence. The debate is over.
Okay. And lo and behold, I couldn't believe my eyes when I seen number 2, they had Caitlin Clark. I said, really?
Let's be real. If the roles were reversed and Caitlin Clark was ranked 12th while Angel Reese was 2nd, the internet would never let us hear the end of it. But now? Suddenly, rankings don't matter. Oh, so now ESPN's list isn't important? Convenient. If you're sitting at 12th, it says a lot about where your skill level ranks. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark holds the number 2 spot, and honestly, she should be number 1. 1. But we'll take it. She's already proven she's the face of women's basketball, and this ranking is just another stamp on her legacy. As for Angel Reese, yikes. After all that talk, 12th place isn't a great look. But hey, at least she can say she's top 15. Barely.
If we did go off of how much winning Caitlin was doing, how she was contributing to winning, and then going off the viewership and all that, oh yeah, for sure. I think Caitlin should have won, man.
Looks like ESPN got an early preview of Unrivaled, because when the experts dropped their list, the truth finally came out. And let's be honest, it was long overdue. Now, let's take a trip down memory lane. Last season, for reasons no one with working eyesight could explain, ESPN actually ranked Angel Reese above Caitlin Clark on the rookie list. Above Caitlin Clark. The same Clark who was out there shattering records, drilling logo threes, and making defenders question their life choices. Meanwhile, Angel Reese was out here putting up vibes? Yeah, that ranking aged real well.
And this is ESPN's list, y'all, not mine. So don't be chirping, getting mad if your fave isn't at the top. So at number 1, we have Cameron Brink. Number 2, Angel Reese. Number 3, Kate Martin. 4, Rakia Jackson. 5, Julie Vanloo. And 6.
She grabbed some rebounds, sure, but beyond that, what were we really watching? Brick City, weak defense, and a non-existent offensive bag. Yet somehow she was hyped as a top rookie? Fast forward to now, and the experts have finally snapped out of it. Maybe they actually watched the games, maybe they stopped falling for TikTok hype. But either way, justice has been served. Because the more you watch Angel Reese play, the more obvious it gets. She hasn't improved. In fact, she might have regressed. Her shooting, still a disaster. Her defense looks more like stat padding. And her offense, yeah, let's not even go there.
Number 2 player in the entire league, not on the Olympic team. Just pointing that out. And of course, you did have some haters. Please, Clark is not better than Stewie, Fee, or Inescu. Clark is not better than Stewart. They glazing Clark is not better than Inescu, blah, blah, blah. No matter what Caitlin Clark does, she's going to have some haters out there. It's just they're losing their minds over all the people that have either been traded for and signed for the Indiana Fever right now. And, of course, it looks like a powerhouse of a team.
This is exactly why ESPN's ranking last year made no sense. They really tried to push the idea that Angel Reese was better than Caitlin Clark. Like, what were we even watching? Caitlin was out there leading her team, making WNBA history, and draining deep threes like it was a casual shoot-around. Meanwhile, Angel was putting up the most forgettable double-doubles you've ever seen. Now, after months of excuses, overhyped debates, and endless Twitter takes, the truth is finally setting in. Angel's game just isn't it. The more we watch her play, the clearer it becomes. She's not a star, she's not elite, she's just there.
Asia number 1, Caitlin number 2, Brianna number 3, and now we really have Brianna over Nafisa in terms of projections going into next year. Stop. Nafisa Collier is definitely top 2 in this league.
We are finally done with this ridiculous comparison. The great Caitlin Clark versus Chex Notes. Angel Reese? Yeah, that debate never should have existed in the first place. The record is officially straight. Caitlin Clark is her. And Angel Reese? Well, she's just there. Clark is out here redefining the game, breaking records, pulling up from the logo, and making defenders look like they're moving in slow motion. And the best part? She does it all while Angel and her crew sit on the sidelines, throwing shade like it's their full-time job. Somebody needs to remind Angel that talking trash is cute and all, but it only works when you actually back it up.
There is no individual who has benefited more from the Caitlin Clark effect than Angel Reese. That's my hot take. Think about it. From going up against her, playing her in college, taking on that villain role, going into the league at the same time as Caitlin Clark, everything that she's said and done on social media or in post-game press conferences, she is a star because of Caitlin Clark. She would not be a star if Caitlin Clark weren't a player. She'd be just as good a women's basketball player. She'd have been picked high in the WNBA draft and would still be a good player. Yep. But she is a star because of Caitlin Clark.
She would be a star in women's basketball circles.
Well, that's not what I mean, though.
Yeah, no, I know.
She is a star.
The Angel Reese stans are honestly out of control. They act like her game is untouchable, but they conveniently ignore her struggles on the court, especially with her shooting. It's like they're living in an alternate reality, ignoring the glaring flaws. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is out here setting records, dropping 30-point games effortlessly, and making the league so much money. More than some franchises combined. The difference is undeniable. Caitlin's impact is real and visible. As for Angel, when her team loses, she's quick to blame everything but her own performance. The refs, the system, the media. It's never her. It's frustrating to watch. Caitlin Clark's success isn't just about talent. It's about leadership and consistency. Her future in the WNBA is secure. Angel Reese, on the other hand, has fans who make excuses for her. while her shooting and overall game leave much to be desired. The debate was never really a debate. Caitlin Clark is the future, and there's no contest.
Out because Angel Reese went on this massive rant last year with Kennedy Carter, I believe, standing next to her about how people are tuning in for her. It wasn't just one other person, but all these people are moving the needle and people want to watch her, except you're not her. You're not.
Right now, the only thing standing in Caitlin Clark's way for MVP is A'ja Wilson. Sure, she's won the award before and has been part of a stacked Aces team, but honestly, she's just holding that position temporarily. Caitlin is on her way up, and she's moving fast. By this time next year, we could be talking about her as the clear-cut best player in the league, and it wouldn't be shocking at all. Meanwhile, the Indiana Fever made major moves in free agency, stacking their roster with talent. Caitlin? She's about to be a serious force. We're talking MVP-level performances, record-breaking threes, and defenses scrambling to figure her out. As for the Aces, they'll be solid, but you know they have to be a little nervous. Caitlin Clark is coming, and she's ready to take over.
What the Indiana Fever did last night got me so excited. The Fever, if you haven't been paying attention, they are really active in ensuring that Caitlin Clark and company have a true contending lineup next season. They have Caitlin.
The real question now is, what's going to happen with Angel Reese? This season has been rough, certainly not the glow-up everyone expected. She was hyped up to dominate, but instead, she's been struggling a lot. And let's be real, for someone who talks so much, her performance isn't backing it up. At this rate, she might not even crack the rankings next season. She could end up lower than where she is now, which is pretty impressive in the worst way. How do you move backward from the spot you started? That's some next-level regression. The bottom line? She's all talk and no results.
I think they had a list last year. She was like 15 or something like that. And Angel was like 19. And this year they got it closer to being right. It's more so, it's closer, okay? She's second. And I'm fine with that. You know what I mean?
Angel Reese is out here trying to play the villain, but the only thing villainous is her stat line, missing layups left and right. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is making history, breaking records, and actually backing it up. You know the things true superstars do, not just yelling for attention and hoping people don't check the box score. Caitlin Clark is coming for that MVP, and the Fever? They're looking dangerous. As for the Aces, they better hope their championship window isn't closing, because Caitlin's arrival just shook up everything. Angel Reese? She might want to stop obsessing over rankings and start focusing on staying relevant. Because if this season is any sign, things are only going downhill for her.
The biggest thing for me is her not even responding to all the that's going on. And I think that's commendable. I think she's a unicorn. She's doing everything I thought she was going to do and more, like win the MVP.
You think Caitlin
That's not going to happen this year, but it could happen very soon.
It's great for the conversation.
Y'all all went to the Olympics and now y'all losing now. Y'all burnt out? Y'all should have let this young girl go over there and play.
I just don't
But
think
then she
there's
would've
a
been
correlation.
Nah, but she would because she's a rookie. You let these young play. Caitlin Clark is a super...
One thing is undeniable. Caitlin Clark is the main event, the superstar, the showstopper. She keeps getting better, and the rankings reflect it. More points, more fans, more records broken, more eyes glued to the screen every time she hits the court. At this point, the only thing Caitlin hasn't done is sign autographs while dropping 40. Give it time. Meanwhile, let's check in on Angel Reese. Oh, yikes. Turns out, you can't build a career on taunting someone who's actually better than you. In 2023, Reese fans were loud, claiming she was on Clark's level. But now, silence. The narrative went from, Reese is just as good as Caitlin, to, well, she tried hard, and even that's a stretch some nights. It's been a while since anyone could seriously compare Reese to Clark. Unless the sentence is, Caitlin Clark is a generational talent, and Angel Reese is also present. Because while Caitlin continues to elevate, Reese stays stagnant. The hype train left the station, and Reese is still trying to catch up. Honestly, the only thing she's good at right now is talking and twerking.
So Caitlin Clark is somebody that is going to probably, she's going to, I would say, be, in my opinion, the second favorite for MVP. I think she is going to be the second favorite for MVP in the WNBA. That is how confident I am in Caitlin Clark.
And speaking of overrated, let's talk about A'ja Wilson for a second. I know Aces fans are already ready to fire back, but let's be real. You all treat her like she's the greatest thing since sliced bread, but in reality, she's just part of a super team. If Caitlin Clark were on a roster like that, she'd be dropping 50 a night while solving world hunger in her spare time. Wilson fans love acting like she's untouchable, but let's not forget she tends to disappear in big moments more often than my Wi-Fi signal during a storm. And her fans? They have this strange obsession with tearing down Caitlin Clark, probably because they know deep down their girl can't match up.
And I'll be damned if they didn't go get Sid. Ah! They went up and snatched Sid Colson from the Aces. She is 100% vibes. She is 100% going to be a backup for Caitlin. It's going to be fantastic backup for Kelsey. She is a great addition to this backcourt. She has senior leadership. She has championship experience.
Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark just keeps doing what she does best, making history, packing stadiums, and casually shattering records like it's no big deal. She's got more fans than half the league combined, and honestly, the WNBA should be sending her thank you baskets at this point. Her impact is undeniable, and she's elevating the game like no one else. If you enjoyed, like and subscribe, more videos are on screen now,